Hello everyone, this is the Prussian Prince with finally another Total War Warhammer tournament match cast. This is Heroes of the Old World tournament semi-final match between myself and Incoherencel. See, I'm playing as the Greenskins and Incoherencel is the Empire again in this tournament. Both players get to keep the factions that they were given at the start of the tournament. I'm quite happy with Greenskins. Not sure if Incoherencel is happy with Empire, but he should be because it's quite a strong faction. But anyway, in this matchup, I do think Greenskins are slightly favored, but we'll see how it ends up going. So, what's my build? I have Goblin Wolf Riders on each of the flanks. Then I have, looks like a total of 4 Black Orcs up front, supported by 3 Orc Biggins, and then 3 of these Goblins, one of them rank 1 because, actually no, all 3 are rank 1 because I just had the extra money. I do have 4 Orc Boar Boy Biggins in the back, an Orc Shaman here as well, and where's my general? There is the Orc War Boss general on a Wyvern. Now for Incoherencel, you can already see that he has 1 Outrider on each extreme flank. His main composition, we do actually see Karl Franz on a Pegasus. We see the Amber Wizard just on foot, basically. And we have a lot of greatswords. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 greatswords. Now, this is something that I was afraid of because there's just so many greatswords. If I engage frontally, like, I'm totally dead. I don't have the melee power to deal with that. However, if I use my Orc War Boy Biggins correctly with the bonuses from the Orc Shamans, the Orc Shaman and the Orc War Boss, go for your charges with the Orc War Boy Biggins and the Orc War Boss, should be going well. However, the Empire build also has a unit of Demigryph Knights with Halberds, again, a problem that I have to deal with. However, let's fast forward a tad and see how things go. You can already see I'm sending my Orc War Boss up front, because I know it can deal with the Karl Franz. I also have potions on the field, so these should definitely help my Orc War Boss deal with Karl Franz, no problem. Foe Seeker Potion of Strength should help a lot against Karl Franz here. And looks like there's a Feral Manticore being spawned by the Amber Wizard here. Should do quite a bit of damage to my Orc War Boss. And my Orc War Boss, I should start popping his Potion of Healing soon. There we go, now he's gonna actually start healing. And he should be able to finish off Karl Franz if he's fast enough. There we go, I do get a hit on him, but now I'm engaged with Feral Manticore. And now my Orc War Boss is kind of running away, it's wavering, but if I engage here, I should be alright. I'm still healing. I've got a decent amount of morale, so I should just be fine right now, for sure. Orc War Boss running away, moving fast with Potion of Healing. Feral Manticore still chasing me and being very, very annoying, to say the least. Orc Biggins here on the side, getting ready. Still, Feral Manticore still chasing my Orc War Boss right now. And now I turn around with the Orc War Boss once I'm full HP or near full HP, and then I should be able to deal with the Feral Manticore here. I have much better stats, I got the bonuses, so this shouldn't be a problem. Even though it says that the Manticore is winning, that's not really going to be the case here. So I am going to end up finishing off his Outriders. I get in with the Goblin Wolf Riders, and honestly, I don't know why I'm sending Orc Biggins as well. Here, I'm going to be able to finish off these Outriders as well with these Goblin Wolf Riders, so pretty good engagement for me right there. I'm going to continue moving up on the flanks here with these Goblins and try to make sure that his Greatswords are busy, because if they're not busy, then they can just engage into those Black Orcs, and that's not what I want. So I get these Outriders off the field right now. This is precisely what I wanted. Gives me an advantage. I end up killing the Feral Manticore. I keep the Orc Shaman here, and he actually gave a boost with the Scroll of Shielding to the Orc War Boss, so that's pretty good right there. Now, I do have to get rid of Karl Franz. He is quite low on HP, but he doesn't have a potion, so 1700 HP is kind of not going to be enough against the Orc War Boss here. I'm going to be able to take him down for sure here. Now I'm going around, and I'm probably going to be able to go in and slam into these great swords soon if I do have the Orc War Biggins, but I believe I'm going to pull back here. I don't want the great swords to get rid of my Orc Biggins, so here I pull out those great swords, thinking I can get a flank attack with them, but looks like Incoherencel is going to pull back the great swords, noticing that that's not going to be a good move for him. I'm going to continue pulling back the goblins here on my right flank. I just want to present the force against these great swords and try and scare them if I can, but obviously great swords not going to get scared by puny little goblins. Now the Orc War Boss, I've been chasing off this Feral Manticore because it's just routing and it's not shattered, so here I think I decide, okay, I'm just gonna continue going for it, and should be going back with the Orc War Boss soon enough. There we go. Once the Feral Manticore is 100% out of the fight, because if it wasn't, then I could have been in a hard position, because Karl Franz and that Manticore might have been able to kill my Orc War Boss, which would have been definitely a problem for sure, I think. I can just fast forward slightly because clearly the engagement still hasn't happened yet. Again, I took care of the Outriders, so that was quite important. Still has the Demigryphs on full HP though, and now I decide, okay, so there's all these greatswords here that are not fighting. I'm gonna keep the goblins on my right flank. I'm keeping some units here. And meanwhile, I'm gonna try and see if I can get a local superiority here. I have 2 Black Orcs against 1 Greatsword, and sort of trying to do a similar thing here. But here, I don't have the advantage. However, with Y, and here we go, this is gonna be a super crazy engagement right here. My Black Orcs here are doing so much work. However, we have Pan's Impenetrable Pelt and Resistance onto these Greatswords, so they're not doing that bad either, but I just have lots of Black Orcs here. I have the Orc Shaman helping as well. Orc War Boss still alive, and I have killed Karl Franz. Karl Franz should not have engaged my general. Now I get a nice flanking charge into these great swords. Should do some damage with 2 Orc War Boy Biggins here. I'm gonna go in with the Orc War Boss, take care of the Amber Wizard. Great swords here still engaged, and they shouldn't be able to kill all of these units, especially if I send the Orc War Boss in to the fray. Now these Orc Biggins here are doing very well against these 2 great swords. Yes, obviously no kills, but holding down 2 great swords is absolutely all that they need to do at this point, while I mop up the rest of the forces of the Empire. And as you can see, it is going quite in my favor right now, especially because the enemy lord is dead. So I can now zoom in, look at these great swords as they get slammed by the Black Orcs. Wow, this is so much gore here. Black Orcs, pretty cool units. But yeah, the Empire here not going to hold. They have no chance against all these Black Orcs. And now they're going to run away. Goodbye, great swords. It was nice knowing you. It looks like you won't survive to tell the tale. Or actually, some of them might. And yeah, decisive victory. So that was the first game. Stats-wise, you can see Black Orcs doing exceptionally well, and again, the Orc War Boss finishing off the Manticore, killing Karl Franz. Probably that was the biggest decisive moment in the game, because that allowed me to chain route all of those great swords. So yeah, that's game 1. See you in game 2. This is game 2 of the match against Incoherencel. On Cliff of Beasts, I'm bringing the same build, of course, because if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Whereas Incoherencel, he's changed his build a lot, as you can see here. So again, I'm going to go over my composition really quickly. I have 4 Black Orcs in the center. Then I have 1 Orc Biggin on the right flank. And I have 2 Orc Biggins on the left flank. 4 Orc War Boy Biggins in the back with 3 Goblins. I also have an Orc Shaman and the Orc War Boss on Wyvern. 1 Goblin Wolf Rider on the far right flank and 1 on the far left. Now, for the interesting Empire build, well, we see Balthazar Gelt, of all people, on foot. We have 3 Empire Knights in the back. We also have, let's see, looks like 4 of these handgunners up front, 1 crossbowman on the field, as well. And the most interesting part of this Empire build, actually, well, besides this Warrior Priest, we have how many halberdiers? 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 halberdiers, and then the rest are like great swords, right? 2 great swords and 2 more great swords. 4 great swords, 6 halberdiers. Now, I don't exactly like this composition. I mean, halberdiers will do great against Orc Boy Biggins, but against Black Orcs and against Orc Biggins, they won't really do so well. So I would have preferred to see, like, the first build was like excellent, I think. The build last game, even though it was much more simple, because I mean 10 great swords, it was still quite effective. I mean, as long as he didn't lose his general, he would have like quite a decent shot at winning that game, because it was such a sturdy composition that he brought. I mean, 10 great swords, can't go wrong with that. Anyway, let's fast forward things. I'm going around with the Goblin Wolf Riders. Whoa. That's not quite what I wanted to do. Anyway, whoa, what's this? Shots fired into the Orc Boy Biggins. Yeah, that's a mistake. That's actually a pretty big mistake, because look at all the losses that these guys have taken. I mean, only lost 2 entities, but the HP lost is like massive, from 5k to 3.8k. That's actually a lot. Huge difference. Now I'm going in with the Orc Biggins first. This is good because it means my Black Orcs won't get hurt, but yeah, like just charging in frontally, it's not like there's much I can do anyway, but yeah, these handgunners are totally going to wreck my my units here. So yeah, now the halberdiers are gonna go in, and the Orc Biggins are actually gonna lose this engagement because they've already taken so much damage prior. Not quite sure what I'm doing with my Orc War Boss, but yeah, I'm preparing my flanks. I can't flank through here, which is annoying because this is right by the red line, or well, as you see, it's now just a white bluish line, sort of a magic line instead right now, I guess you could call it. So the Black Orcs are engaging here. I got my Orc Shaman into the fray, as well as more Black Orcs. I've got the Wog with Stand Your Ground enabled. Wow, here we go as well on all these units. So these Black Orcs here are gonna kill these halberds so quickly. It's not even gonna be funny. Yeah, look at these guys drop. Black Orcs here engaging as well. But Transmutation has been activated on my units, which is actually huge. Look at that, minus weapon damage and minus melee attack. So that's like a really good ability that got used on my Black Orcs here. These guys are dead. These guys are probably dead. And yeah, now I'm engaging on the flanks here, which is gonna be good because Orc Boy Biggins can do very well against Empire Knights. However, not in this engagement here. I don't think I got a counter charge off, and I'm gonna start flanking around as well. Goblin Wolf Riders, I don't want them to engage Empire Knights. I'm just pulling away the Empire Knights, which is good. And I'm actually making them do no friendly fire damage. Okay, so they all hit the Goblin Wolf Riders. Interesting. But here, however, I've broken through the Halberdiers unit over here. I'm getting into the handgunners with the Goblin Wolf Riders. And yeah, the Orc Boy Biggins here got caught by 2 Empire Knights, but it's not a problem because these Orc Boy Biggins coming in straight for the handgunners and these crossbowmen. So yeah, even though these Goblin Wolf Riders will not beat the handgunners in melee, they're keeping all of these 2 units busy. Gonna get another Goblin Wolf Rider here soon enough into those handgunners probably. My right flank not looking so good, but you can see in the center I'm gonna break through no problem. My left flank is looking quite good as well. These halberdiers not gonna break through. Fists of Gork activated on this Black Orc should give it the necessary edge it needs against the halberdiers. Also with Scroll of Shielding, so these guys are gonna go and slam these halberds like there's no tomorrow. You can see some Empire units coming back here in the back lines, in my back lines, so that's not quite good because they can be very, very annoying to deal with, but my cavalry is just carrying the day for me here. It's getting rid of all these handgunners. I got my Orc War Boss here dealing with Balthazar Gelt right now, killing the Empire Knights. More Goblin Wolf Riders coming in, and now I'm gonna give a huge boost to my Orc Biggins here with Here We Go, but Transmutation is still heavily affecting me right now, which is not good. Of course, these guys are losing a lot of weapon strength, as you can see. That's really not good. Now I'm gonna get the Orc War Boss in as well, trying to go for Balthazar Gelt. Actually, no, I'm just gonna go here and make sure that these guys are taking as much damage as possible so that they essentially rout off the field. But at this point, it should be clear that it's my victory, just chasing off these routing units with an Orc War Boy Biggin. Here I'm keeping these Graced Swords off the field with Goblin Wolf Riders, pretty good. Black Orcs here probably will die to the Empire Knights, or actually this is going to be a close engagement, but they should take it for sure. Now there's still more engagements over here. But yeah, it looks like most of the Empire units have routed off the field, so it's just like a couple of swords and these Empire Knights over here, which, I mean, you know, they're not going to do so great at all. Whoa, that charge looked pretty sweet though, but here comes the Orc War Boss from behind. He is so bloody. He's really bloodied right now. And yes, the gods have abandoned you, Empire Greatswords. They truly have. Because you got smashed by the Orcs, Empire. Anyway, let's look at the stats. Orc War Boy Biggins and Goblin Wolf Riders clearly carrying the day here. And some Black Orcs doing very well, but this one didn't, because it got like lots of debuffs and such, and it wasn't taking on the best engagement. But yeah, the Orc Biggins surprisingly doing a lot of work here. 101 kills. Halberds, one of them 126 kills. Wow. I think that was Goblins though, probably. Anyway, that's game 2. Now on match point, since this is a best of 5. See you in game 3. So this is game 3 of the match. Again, I'm on match point. I'm bringing the exact same build. Now, what is Incoherencel bringing? We'll see soon enough as we load into the replay. So again, just in case you missed it, of course. What do I have? Orc War Boss, one Winter Wyvern, Orc Shaman as well. 4 Orc War Boy Biggins all the way in the back. A goblin on each flank this time around, and a goblin in the center. Of course, all goblins have one upgrade. Up front, we see 1 Orc Biggin on the right flank, 2 Orc Biggins on the left flank, and 4 Black Orcs in the center. Now, what do we have for Empire? Well, let's see. We see, again, Balthazar Gelt on foot. Where's the other hero? I see no other hero. Anyway, 4 Empire Knights in the back. 4 great swords in total in the back. Whoa, what is that? 2 halberdiers on each flank. 2 halberdiers in the center. And 4 crossbowmen. 5 crossbowmen up front, actually. Okay. Whereas the change for me is that I have... Actually, no changes. The same build. What am I saying? I still have the Goblin Wolf Riders, 1 on each flank. But yeah, the Empire this time around went for more crossbows than all those handgunners, which I'm not sure about, because let's look at my units for a bit. So you see the Orc Biggins here, 50 armor. You see these Black Orcs, 110 armor. The crossbows really aren't gonna be so efficient against those units. Handgunners were a better choice, I think. But anyway, let's just get the game going. I'm gonna fast forward a little bit. You can see that I'm gonna take like a better position over here to see if I can go downhill like this. That could potentially be good. So I'm moving up the Orc War Boss, trying to scare away his crossbowmen, sending in some Goblin Wolf Riders as well. And here I'm like, yeah, there's no cavalry here, so maybe I can go into the crossbows and then get out right away. So I get in here, get some damage done, and really it's not that much damage, but I'm keeping all these crossbowmen busy and seeing if I can follow up with all my forces. This is my plan right now. So yeah, this Goblin Wolf Rider routed off the field, but it did do some damage, killed 13 crossbowmen, and now like there's such disorganization in the lines of the Empire, because on this flank at least. So yeah, I've got the Orc War Boss here. I'm not sure about engaging currently. But I think, yeah, I'm gonna go for the Halberdier here so I can, like, totally get rid of this flank. Halberdiers here going to die to Orc Biggins, no problem. So here we go, come in here. I don't actually get the WA bonus anymore, which is a mistake. I should have recharged those units, but... I mean, I guess getting rid of his Halberdier isn't the end of the world. Isn't, like, a bad move either. So here I'm gonna get the Orc Biggins here, engaging the Empire Knights. This is exactly what I should be doing. These Empire Knights have no chance against Orc Biggins here. Looks like they're gonna charge through their own unit, but I wouldn't be surprised if this Orc Biggin kills 2 Empire Knights on its own. Especially now with the Orc Warboy Biggins supporting, and actually some Goblins as well. Yeah, these 2 Empire Knights are just done here. This blob here, the Halberdiers are gonna go down, but nice charge by the Empire Knights should make this flank hold for a bit longer. So they're just a sacrificial unit for Empire right now. But yeah, you can see the Black Orcs already destroyed the Halberds on this flank. Empire Knights here pulling out, but they can't pull out against Orc Warboy Biggins. I mean, you can already see that they're taking so much damage. One of them is gonna rout. Black Orcs here engaging Crosswomen, just how you want to see it. And now I'm flanking with Black Orcs. You don't want to see Great Swords flanked by Black Orcs. Orc Shaman is in the fray and he's taking serious damage. Black Orcs here killing Halberdiers, and this engagement here is not gonna go my way because it's 2 Orc Biggins against 2 Great Swords, a Halberd, and an Empire Knight. But on the left flank, I have won quite convincingly, and I also have done the same on the right flank. So now I can just collapse on his center with my winning flanks. These crossbows cannot really do much at the moment. And I've got the Goblin Wolf Riders, which I can always send in and make sure that the crossbows can never come back. Chased off the routing units as well. Orc Shaman here giving boosts with Here We Go, making sure that these Great Swords never win this engagement. Getting a nice rear charge here, should rout all of these units soon enough. Goblin Wolf Riders still chasing off. Looks like actually these Empire Knights came back here and are doing significant damage, but mostly only got Goblins here, so it's not really the end of the world. And I have Orc Warboy Biggins that came back, but I'm not using. But right now, the game is heavily in my favor. Still chasing off these Halberds and other units with my Cavalry. Goblin Wolf Riders here wavering. I'm gonna get the Orc War Boss here, so these Empire Knights are not gonna like their situation once the Orc War Boss is here. Also with WoD, this is a huge boost right now. These Empire Knights. But wow, the Orc War Boss, once again, so bloody. He always gets bloody because the Orc War Boss wants to be in the fight since he's such a strong combatant, so to speak. Just look at all these guys running away. The Empire Knights are afraid, but today was not the day for the Empire. Greenskins clearly dealt with the Empire here. Crossbowmen engaged here, wavering. They're not happy, so that is going to be game. Look at those Black Orc kills. Tons and tons of kills. Orc Warboy Biggins doing alright for themselves. If you look at the Empire, Great Swords not doing so well, Halberds either. I don't know if there's any unit in the Empire roster here that was cost efficient, but anyway. That is the game and match. I win 3-0. So now I'm gonna move on to the final, to face Legend of Total War in the Heroes of the Old World tournament. Thank you all for watching. Don't forget to comment, rate, and subscribe. Follow me on social media, and I'll see you next time.